Hi, everybody. I want to explain your first major project, which is the research essay. Essentially, what you're doing is picking a theory of gender. Now, this can be a theory of gender that you encounter in a different course. This could be a theory of gender that you find in our textbook. You're more than welcome to use queer theory, performative theory, social learning theory, any theory that you want of gender from the book, or you can find another theory of gender for your own intellectual enrichment. It's up to you, but either way, what I want you to do in this research essay is apply it to modern academics and the study of gendered lives. So I'm really looking for how to apply the theory to the world around you, specifically with these questions here. That's going to be the application part. So basically what you're going to do is, with a minimum of 3 academic articles, right? You can include a few more during the application section, but for the minimum of 3 articles, what I want you to do is structure your essay into 2 different parts. In the first part, I want you to summarize the article, right? What were the authors trying to do? How did they do it? And what did they find? Please keep this section brief. Students can get carried away with trying to capture everything in these research articles. They're very dense. This is really a skill that will serve you well as you move on to grad school and other areas in your life. Try to just extract the main ideas and focus on describing them. This is a 5 to 7 page essay, so really you shouldn't be spending more than a page and a half on this first part, okay? Maybe there's going to be some exceptions, but I'd really like you to focus mostly on part B. That's the bulk of your essay. That's where I want to see most of your thinking happening, right? This is when you're discussing what you found in these articles, discussing the gender theory and what you found in these articles to understand how to answer each of these 5 questions, right? Why did you choose the theory? Why is it important? What are the implications? Are there any limitations that you notice? And sometimes it's hard to find limitations, and you might just note that. But I do encourage you to look for those limitations. What does it not say about gender? What are these studies not looking at? Maybe one of them is quantitative and there should be some qualitative work or something, right? Just encouraging yourself to think about the limitations. You might also use the limitations that the authors themselves mention, but if you do this, make sure you're citing that. And of course, what did you find most interesting about the theory? You might think of how it applies to your life, preferably your professional life, but you can bring some of your personal life in here too, if that's relevant. But really encouraging you, since this is a more formal essay, to apply this gender theory and the articles that you found to your professional practice as a teacher, as a future counselor, as a kinesiologist, whatever it is that you're hoping to become. And in what ways does this gender theory and these 3 or more articles support or challenge your beliefs? Okay. Make sure that everything's in APA style. I would like to see headings for each of these different parts. So one heading, a level 1 heading for part A, a level 1 heading for part B, and then on part B, using level 2 headings to answer each of these questions, right? Guide me through, make it very obvious to me what questions you're answering. However, come up with some creative names for the headings. If these headings are just the names of the questions, that's not really interesting, to be honest. So try to structure this as if it were a paper you might submit one day for publication, right? So I explained that here. But make sure that you're not just jumping from one heading to another heading, right? Set up that last sentence to transition into your first topic sentence of the next paragraph. I want to see some flow here. Flex your writing muscles. All of you are really good writers based on what I've read from the discussion posts and the reflection papers. So invite yourself to take a little bit of time on this to practice those writing skills. So essentially what you're doing is comparing and contrasting what you find in part A while answering part B. So part A is informing how you answer part B. So if you're only answering part B based on what you think, that, from your personal life or past experience or other things in the class, that cannot get you full points on this research essay. While you can bring some of the things that you've learned in class, maybe some of the movies we've watched, maybe some of the other parts of the textbook that you can make connections. I really want to see you apply the research articles. If you only apply the research articles to answer part B, you can get full points. If you want to go above and beyond that and cite other parts of the textbook or cite some of the films that we've watched, just make sure that you're including those in your reference list to enrich how you answer part B. I'm hoping this is making sense. These are just some of the technicalities here. Keep your essay between 5 to 7 pages. I know some of you are more verbose, and if you want to go over that page limit, that's fine. But this does not include the title page or the reference page. You don't need an abstract, but I do want to see a title page and a reference page following APA style 7th edition. Okay, I'll be a little bit more strict in terms of grading for APA style, so definitely want to make sure that you're accessing those resources, because this is a more formal technical paper. Anyways, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm available, and I will talk to you soon.